Let's speak about Workhorse, baby! What is happening, investors? It is your boy, Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the clothing line to prove that fact, baby. Workhorse just released this Form S-3. And I know what you're thinking. That's really long and looks boring, but you're worried and you are not bothered to read through the whole thing. That is exactly why you've clicked on today's video. Luckily for you, I've spent the last couple of hours of my life reading through this in its entirety twice. And trust me, I don't find it particularly fun reading through these filings either. But essentially I woke up and I went to my Discord and I was tagged in my Workhorse section numerous times because there was some people worrying about this. And I understand why. When you initially look at it, it just looks like, wow, there's loads of share dilution. Boo-hoo, let's cry, I'm gonna sell. That's not exactly what is happening, and I want to give you guys a better understanding of exactly what this form potentially means. So guys, I am out here, I'm doing the groundwork, I'm doing the boring stuff. Could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button in return? If you are new around here also, please consider hitting that juicy red subscribe button because we are literally this close to 50,000 subs. And drop me a comment down below, let me know what you think of this after you have watched this video until the end, my friends. Right off of the bat, I want to say that this is nothing to worry about, as per usual. Everybody's already so worried and so anxious about what's going to happen in regards to the USPS contract, especially when you throw the US election and the Roni into the mix, all of the politics, everybody's already so scared. So literally, if they see something like this and they're not willing to look into it, it's not going to help things out. But anyway, my friends, with that being said, let's just get straight into it. So this right here is what you're looking for. If you Google it, if you go to Workhorse Stock and say, for example, you go to the news, nobody is speaking about it yet. On YouTube, nobody's speaking about it, so here we are, I'm making this video. So Form S-3, first of all, submitted yesterday, the 28th of October. So I did read this word for word. I read all of the boring little things here, and that is very, very important. So before we come back to that boring stuff, I want to show you what everybody's speaking about. Essentially, there is up to 6.82 million shares of common stock issuable upon exercise of stock purchase warrants, and upon the conversion of 4% senior secured convertible notes due in 2024 may be sold from time to time pursuant to this registration statement. So everybody's going crazy. So at the start of these S3s, there are all of these different boxes that you can tick, okay? So here is a ticked box. If any of the securities being registered on this form are to be offered on a delayed or continuous basis pursuant to Rule 415 under the Securities Act of 1933, other than securities offered only in connection with dividend or investment reinvestment plans, check the following box. You can see that it's checked. So the securities being offered are delayed or continuous. It is not happening this moment in time, and that will become extremely apparent when you actually read through this form. If this form is filed to register additional securities for an offering, please check the box. It's not checked. These are not additional securities. If this form is a post-effective amendment, tick the box. It's not. So straight off the bat, read this page and see what is actually happening. The most important thing you're going to see here is the securities being registered on this form are to be offered on a delayed or continuous basis. They are not registering additional securities. Now, it also seems like everybody already forgot about this or either did not really understand what happened here either. Workhorse closes $200 million of financing from institutional lenders. From Antarctic Capital. Fun fact about Antarctic Capital, they receive startup capital from Blackstone Group, roughly $200 million in assets at launch. And what does this here have to say, okay? The notes are convertible into common stock by the holders at $35.29 per share. Convertible at $35.29 a share. We are currently $16.75 a share, and they mature in 4 years. 4 years, my friends, and bear an interest rate of 4% per year, which may be reduced to 2.75%, essentially if they get some of the USPS contract. But let's just remember that name, Antarctic Capital, just for a few minutes. We will come back to it. So we can see here there's 6.82 million shares being registered. The proposed maximum offering price per share is at $18.03, which already is higher than we are right now. Never even mind the exercisable prices, and then I'm not too worried about the fees, etc. So up to 6.82 million shares of common stock issuable upon exercise of stock purchase warrants and upon the conversion of 4% senior secured convertible notes due 2024 may be sold from time to time pursuant to this registration statement. Big red letters. Prospectus. The information in this prospectus is not complete and may be changed. The selling stockholders named in this prospectus may not sell these securities until the registration statement filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission is effective. This prospectus is neither an offer to sell nor does it seek an offer to buy these securities in any jurisdiction where the offer or sale is not permitted. It's in red, guys. It's in red. It would be so hard to not read this. So it breaks up exactly where the shares go. Now you can see that there are a lot of different ones here. First thing I want to show you guys, Antara, okay, 2.9 million of the shares. Now I'm not going to go through all of the numbers because I mean that would take a while. Feel free to do so in your own time if you want. So look at this though, the majority of the shares of common stock are issuable at an exercise price of 38.32 or 35.29. What price are we again? What price? 16.75. These shares are pursuant to senior secured convertible notes due 2024, dated October 14, 2020. And what about some of the other shares? Quite a lot of them are an exercise price of $20.90 a share, and a very, very small amount of them at 1782. Now, the percentage of shares beneficially owned by each of these companies when all is said and done will be less than 1%. This is not anything huge by any means whatsoever, my friends. Even Antarctic Capital Master Fund with their near 3 million shares is less than 1%. So these notes, yet again, okay, as we already know, on October 14, 2020, let me bring you back to this 200 million. October 16, that is what this is. They issued 4% senior secured convertible notes due 2024 in an aggregated amount of $200 million. The conversion price is $35.29 a share. Use of proceeds. We will not receive any proceeds from the sale of our common stock issued upon exercise of any of the warrants or the conversion of any of the notes by selling shareholders. In the event of a selling shareholder exercises a warrant for cash, we will use the proceeds for general corporate purposes. So remember marathon lenders, okay? An aggregate principal amount of $70 million. We have known about this for literal months. So they issued marathon lenders the warrants to acquire an aggregate of 629,000 shares of common stock, exercisable at a price of $38.82 per share in connection with the issuance of the notes. 409,000 shares of common stock exercisable at a price of $20.90 per share in the connection with the company's July 16th, 2020 issuance of a 4.5% senior secured convertible note. We already knew about this yet again. Just read through the reports, it really won't take that long. The selling stockholders may resell some, all, or none of their shares. We do not know how long the selling stockholders will hold the shares before reselling them. So the large majority of these shares will have to go up in value more than 125%. I mean, just read the form, my friends. Let's have a quick look at Workhorse's stock price, okay? This could potentially be part of the reason why it has been going down as of late. Obviously, the people involved here know this before we do, so that could be part of the reason. Do I think it's anything to necessarily worry about? In all honesty, no. I know a lot of people will just say that because I'm a bull, but I really don't. We're in the green pre-market today. We're at pretty much break even. I'm only recording this like an hour and a half before we go live. But again, I'm not too worried about what happens on an intraday basis with Workhorse right now, and I think I have made that extraordinarily clear over the last few weeks. Look guys, let's remember what we're playing with here. We're playing with a high risk, highly speculative growth stock, and I will not stop saying that. Look, we're at $16.75 a share. We were over $30 a share on 2 separate occasions. Workhorse have issued a whole lot of new shares over the last year to 2 years. I think we have pretty much double the amount of outstanding shares as of right now compared to a year and a half ago, which I mean obviously for the short term isn't good. That's not what you want to see. But look at any company in the world that has had long-term success, and they have done the exact same thing. I guarantee you that 95+% of companies will do this. It is part of running a publicly traded company, my friends. You have to take advantage. So the fact that these are exercisable at $35 to $38 a share, and we are sitting at $16.75 a share as of this moment in time, no, it does not worry me whatsoever. Let's have a quick look at Workhorse institutional ownership and shareholders. 28th of October, a lot more in there. 27th of October, a lot more in there. 26th of October, a lot more getting involved. 23rd, 22nd, oh, one sold on the 21st of October. Look, there is a lot of institutions buying in, my friends. I believe Goldman Sachs bought in recently. I can't find their filing, so don't quote me on that, but I believe they did. If somebody has the link, please drop it in the comment section. But my friends, this is a long-term growth stock. And let's remember why we invested in this company, guys. I think it's fair to say that every one of us, to an extent, invested because of the USPS contract. Now, I say that as a long-term investor. I don't plan on selling when we get or don't get a portion of the USPS contract, but that's what got us all enticed. That's what's gotten us involved up until this point. And then obviously we look at the long-term perspectives. you know, we look at the growing market, we look at somewhat lack of competition, we look at good technology, we look at hiring more people, we look at the strategic partnerships, we look at the horsefly drone, we look at all of these big long-term growth catalysts, but we invested for the USPS contract, and if you say you didn't, I don't believe you. Speaking of our drones, this just happened. Workhorse Group submits formal application to the FAA for type certification of its horsefly delivery drone. I didn't think we were going to see this soon, in all honesty. A type certificate signifies the airworthiness of a particular category of aircraft according to its manufacturing design. Form application to approval. The certification process takes approximately 12 to 24 months. We initially did think it was going to be 12 to 18 months from when I spoke with Steve Schrader, so we still could fall in that timeline. It could be a little bit longer, but again, this is a long-term catalyst. This isn't something that we even need to worry about over the next year or so, in my personal opinion. But let's remember the company we invested in and why we invested in them in the first place, my friends. That's all I'm really trying to say. And also, as I always say on this channel, think for yourselves. Form your own thoughts and opinions. Get your information from numerous sources, not just me, not just somebody else on YouTube, not just one analyst on Investor Place or Seeking Alpha. Get it from all of these different sources. Form your own thoughts and opinions. Do some of the groundwork yourself, you know. Go read the big boring S-3 form, because it may fill you with a little bit more confidence when you actually understand what is happening. Most people would have just gotten to this line here and saw 6.82 million shares of common stock and gotten very afraid very quickly, when in reality all you had to do was even read the next line. Underlying common stock purchase warrants and 4% senior secured convertible notes due 2024. Aside from that, my friends, nothing has changed for me. I'm holding these guys long. I'm either going to lose a considerable amount of money or I'm going to make a considerable amount of money. That's just me, baby. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it wasn't exactly the most entertaining in the world. There's only so entertaining you can make reading an SEC filing. But if you did appreciate me, you know, doing some of the groundwork for you, some of the research, and maybe you did get some entertainment, please do consider hitting that like button. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. And ultimately, subscribe if you're new, because all of those things help me out so much and they make it all so worth it. But in my opinion, nothing has really changed. I mean, this is the kind of thing you expect to happen with literally any growth stock. And what Workhorse done isn't what a lot of other companies have done. Remember when Neo did their offering? I don't know, it was probably a few months ago at this stage, but they just sold new shares at the snap of a fingers at a lower price than the stock's price currently was at. And because of that, there was share dilution and the stock's price came down for two reasons: because they sold cheaper shares and there's more shares out there in circulation. That's not what Workhorse has done. This is different. But if you have watched this video till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend. I really do appreciate you being here from the bottom of my heart. If you're interested, please hit the first link in the description and sign up to my Patreon. It may be worth waiting a couple of days though, because Patreon actually charges the first of every month, but just so that you know about it, it's an awesome community. You get all of my buy and sell alerts. We have loads of different chats covering the whole stock market. It really is awesome. But anyway, my friends, thank you so much for watching today's video. You, my friend, are a true legend. I will see you for another video very soon. Peace.